Hey everybody, it's been a long time, or it seems like a long time since I've read to you, but I'm ready for chapter 43. Carl and Isabel pulled up a file on their laptop and displayed its contents through the holographic projector. Max's notion fits nicely with a plea of the CMI recently received from a village in Congo, said Isabel. It's called Kasambumba and lies between Kalwizi and Lumbamashi near the southern border. Could you send me the details? Asked Tisa. I will forward them to my father. Max nodded. Working for the African investors would be awesome. We'll set up the electricity. The investors can help the villagers plot a new course, free from the mines. She moved closer to the 3D images of the village of Kasambumba. It was a ramshackle collection of buildings. Their roofs were sheets of corrugated aluminum. Laundry was strung out to dry. The people puttered around on motor scooters. Max saw a few spindly poles holding up limp wires, but no major signs of electricity. Is it a mining town? She asked. Yes, said Isabel, clicking her remote to bring up a montage of images of the village and its nearby mines. The children don't go to school during the day. They go to work. Recently, said Carl, the only school in Kasambumba burned down. It was late at night. Max nodded. Because all the kids were working during the day? Exactly. They were using a kerosene lamp to light the classroom. Someone accidentally knocked it over. Everyone escaped the school, but all of its books were destroyed. They need electricity, said Max. Solar panels. If I may, said one of the professors, raising his hand. Yes, sir? Well, I've been working with a non-governmental organization called Smart Energy Everywhere, or SEEC. I'm sure they would gladly offer you their assistance. But what about the solar panels? Asked Klaus. Will they gladly offer us those too? Because solar panels cost a whole lot more than assistance. The professor smiled. Yes, that is what I meant to say. I think they might give us a steep discount on the solar panels. Excuse me a moment. Excellent, said Klaus. We'll hammer out a deal and ship the material down to Africa. We do a quick installation and boom, job done. We can move on to the next part of the planet that needs saving. Max bit her tongue. She didn't like Klaus's attitude, or the fact that he was basically trying to take charge. But to bring solar-powered electricity to the mining village, to make sure their next school didn't burn down when somebody kicked over a kerosene lamp, they would definitely need solar panels. This project was bigger than her. She'd play along, especially since detail work wasn't her number one skill. I'll hang back here and work with the professor while you and the rest of the crew go scope out the situation in the village, volunteered Klaus. I can handle the logistics for getting the solar panels delivered and catch up with you guys later. I'm good with logistics. I'll work with my father, said Tisa. We will hammer out a concrete plan for a new industry or agribusiness to replace the stranglehold of the mining corporation. And let us know our deadline, said Max. Don't worry, Father will be in charge of that. It seems like an excellent division of labor, said Annika. She was super logical that way. Max turned to Carl and Isabel. How soon can we leave? Well, as soon as you children get your shots, said Miss Kaplan, the Institute's den mother. Ooh, Max winced. So did everybody else. Shots? We have to make sure you are up to date with vaccinations, said Miss Kaplan. We also need to inoculate you against yellow fever. And then there's the malaria medicine you'll need to start taking. Miss Kaplan led the way out of the room. All the kids, except Klaus and Max, followed her. Klaus was hanging back, chatting with the professor and the other adult scientists in the room. "Great idea about the NGO, Doc," Max heard him say. "I don't know how our first finisher planned on doing solar panels or solar power without solar panels, but whatever." Isabel came up and tapped Max on the shoulder. "Have you ever been to a doctor for vaccinations?" she asked. "Yes, when I was in foster care." "Good. But you'll need those other shots, though." Right." Max headed for the door. Klaus blocked the path. "Great working with you, Max. But you know what?" "What?" "One day, probably pretty soon, after the benefactor realizes his blunder, I have a feeling I'll be running this group." Is that so?" "Yeah. The gig is all about logistics, making details. That's my wheelhouse. I'm good at it. You're more of a head case, dreaming up big ideas. But big ideas don't run the lights." "Well, Klaus, when that day comes," she said, "I'll be happy to work for you. And, of course, your robots, too." And when she said robots, she gestured to all the grown-ups in the room. People, not robots.